Welcome to Lincoln City. How do you feel about having joined the football club?
Really excited, really excited. The club's obviously going through a bit of a change at the minute, I think, as we're all aware, and it's a really exciting time to be coming during that change.
How have you settled in? I know it's only been a few days, but how are you finding it so far?
Yeah, really well. Everyone's been really welcoming. The people are excellent. The players have been really welcoming too. The week last week was not a difficult week, but just kind of sanding everything out, just seeing what's happening as what would be an in-season way of working, and then this week now getting down to the nitty-gritty, starting to programme for the summer, programme for pre-season.
It's a new role that's been created ongoing from now. What does your role entail?
So my role is to oversee the sports science and medical provision. As the role title of head of performance, it probably reaches out to a little bit more than that. So we look to not just develop players' fitness and make sure that they're free from injury, but also how do we get the best out of players? I think that's an important question to answer, because it scopes more than just how fit and how available players can be. They're human beings, they're people. They're not robots, they're not people that we can program to run around and play football. So we have to understand the emotional context of how to get the best out of players. And that's something that I'm going to be bringing to the department, and making sure that all the staff have a big belief in looking laterally and a bit left field, as opposed to rather than just concentrating on getting them to run faster or quicker.
You've got some good experience in football and sport. Can you tell us a bit about your background?
Yeah, started in football early 2000s. Had a really good mentor in Sean O'Driscoll. Fantastic mentor to bring me into the game and to learn an awful lot about him, and an awful lot about how football is more than just a game, and it's the development of players through not just the physical but the psychosocial, the emotional elements as well. So Doncaster Rovers for a few years, transitioned over to a few other clubs, but the big one's probably Nottingham Forest. Spent 3.5 years there, head of sports science and research, and then went over to the States to work for a short time in ice hockey with the Buffalo Sabres. Came back, most recently 5 years at Rotherham United, and here we are today.
You've touched a bit about your philosophy already, but what can the players expect when they come back at the end of June?
Hard work. I think that goes without saying. Hard work's subjective, which is going to be one thing that we have to knuckle down and establish as what is classed as hard and what is classed as normal. And I think the culture around the place has to be synonymous with what that programme is and what hard work actually is. So I think my kind of reputation precedes me as someone that is big into running. We have to get players to run, to play the game of football that we want to play at a high intensity. Rotherham definitely did do that for the 5 years that I was there, and it's something that I'm definitely going to bring with me here to Lincoln. So I hope we can expect to see a fast, athletic team going into next season.
Finally, it's maybe an unusual time to join a football club right at the end of the season, but how involved have you been in setting the schedules and what the players do over the close season?
Yeah, this has been something that hasn't just happened quickly. It's been a transitional period for me to come into Lincoln. So conversations have been happening for a period of weeks, and kind of sussing out what is currently working and what isn't. And I think the one thing that I have to be very mindful of is that Lincoln has been an extremely successful football club for the last few years, and it's something that I'm really pleased to inherit as a result. So there are things here that are working really well. And then I suppose that's the background to the painting. I've then got to put the artistry on the front as to what that looks like moving forwards. So the off-season is going to be a crucial time for us. Off-season isn't a time for, lads can relax. I know that was limited for Lincoln last season given the playoffs, but this year it's a time to work. We've had all the players in currently throughout the week having their exit programmes for the summer. A few of them raised a few eyebrows as to how physically demanding they actually are, but I think if we're going to bring players in any fit state to crack down and really push on in pre-season, we've got to get the 8 weeks of the summer right, and then pre-season we can then push them on even more, and then that'll carry on into the year.